Upgrade anytime at Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
So how do you keep the team from either A, kind of looking past this, or B, getting too amped up because they think they can get an easy 2 points?
Well, I take the amped up for sure because we seem to be more successful when we're amped up like that. It's not the time of year where you really overlook anybody. You look at the game last night, Prince Albert in a real tough situation, loses to Lethbridge, and you can't take anybody for granted. So, for us, the points are huge. It doesn't matter who we play, and we should be as amped up to play, teams like that as we are the Calgary Hitmen or the Edmonton Oil Kings. So, this is a huge weekend for us. There's 4 points on the table. Doesn't matter who we're playing. We got to find ways to do that to keep ourselves in good playoff position.
What's the key to beat this Blades club? I know they played you pretty well so far this year, other than the last matchup.
Sticking to our game plan and staying disciplined. They've still got a pretty good power play. You look at their power play; it's 20. Before last night's game, it was 26.7% on the road, which is number 2 in the league. So we don't do well when we take over 5 penalties per game. When we keep the roughly 4 or less, we're a pretty good penalty killing team, and that always comes back to our focus issues. The more we have to focus on one thing, we tend to deviate from it. But really, for Saskatoon, we just got to play our game. They're a good, hard-working hockey club. They play with a lot of pride. They showed last night, even though they lost, they still scored 6 goals. So we know they can score. We got to be disciplined, think defense first, and stay in the penalty box.
Is that sort of been the focus this week, is defense first in practice leading up to this weekend?
Absolutely. Still, even though we've been better at times, our goals against still has to go down. We've made a steady decline in that over the past couple of weeks, but we still have to get it down to 3 goals or less every game for the rest of the year. Reason being, we're averaging about 3.4 goals per game. So if we're not going to score 4, then we can't give up 4. And that's really been the primary focus, Phil. While we have been shut out a few games, teams do go through that time to time. But really, we've scored enough goals to win hockey games this year. So we got to tighten up on our back end. Not just playing in our zone. The defense starts 200 feet away from your net when you don't have the puck. And that's really what we've been focusing on.
A week off at this time of the year, good, bad, otherwise?
I'd rather be playing. I think 4 practices is probably too many. That's why we cut it real short and just did special teams yesterday. We'll go real short again today. Guys want to be playing, but at the same time, as a coach, we've got 21 games in 43 days coming up. So your practice time is pretty limited from now on. We wanted to take advantage of this week to kind of refine a few different things, and hopefully it'll help us down the stretch.
The last time we had this kind of break was the infamous Kootenay game. I guess did they maybe learn from that night?
I sure hope so. We rebounded the next night in Prince Albert with a real good road effort. So I think so. I mean, that'll be a reminder, obviously, that we talk about. But this week of practice has been a lot different tone around the team. It's been a lot more loose, a lot more fun. I think maybe the fact that we hadn't seen Kootenay in a long time, we hadn't really built up kind of a hatred for them or a rivalry with them. We know, we played Saskatoon a pretty regular diet here of them and Moose Jaw early on. So I don't think it'll be anything for the guys to get jacked up for this one.